Sort out everything. Fucking hell. This is gonna be a mess and a half. But, oh well. What we do things. If I put that up, that should hopefully make this a little easier. Yeah, that looks to be working out pretty well. Okay, so... Man, there's so much that needs to be managed. Okay, we'll be fluted later. Hmm. Hmm. Just have to wait a little bit for some people to arrive. Yeah, it should be two, I believe. Oh, fuck. Hmm. Hmm. Let me just check some signs. Fuck it, I'll just ping it here. Okay. Just have to wait a little bit. Cause, yay. Hmm. So this might be a little bit interesting. Very peculiar. Oh yeah, I also need to turn that on. Let me shrink it down a little. So this could go some way somehow. Hmm. This is a fucking nightmare. You can see the stream now. Hello. Hello! This session might be a little bit of a weird one. Just depends on how many people can really appear. So things might go... Things might go slightly weirdly this time. Other people are going to be slightly late, but no idea about another one. And one of them mentioned essentially for last minute that apparently they're being sent out. So, guard on. Yeah. So VT Face is being all weird and funky and stuff like that. So I decided to go off and find if there's anything else that could work with VRMs. And there was. It just so happened that this thing also allows for arm movement. Now, be it slightly funky, it does work. so it's not the worst. But it's so fucking hard to do that. It's like, oh, so let's see. I get the hand tip here. It's like this, I guess. It doesn't really work. Really wonky. Yeah, the arms aren't the best because it's trying to get something that has 3 fingers to work with 5. Now I don't know why the other arm is up. It's not up, so I don't know what it's trying to do there. But yeah, it does work. So it's just somewhat waiting for like the other person to come. I spent so much time to DIY my own MP3 player app. I see. It's working. I just have visual things to work on. I see. Yeah, chances are there might only be one person here, so this session might not go exactly the best. Since one of them's out currently, one of them no real idea with. One of them is a little blade and stuff like that. I don't know. But one of them had to go last second, one of them seems to already be out somewhere, one of them I'm not entirely sure where they're up to, and one of them can't really be here on a Sunday. So, with already short numbers, it doesn't go very well. Ah, there we go. Hello, Will.
Hello.
You've arrived.
Yes, I have glass shard in my mouth.
Fair enough. Isn't even worth doing today? Oh, don't worry, there can be some stuff done. We were able to do that interrogation, well not really interrogation, the fusion of a hostage situation before. We'll be able to do some things, just probably not be able to do a whole lot. But yeah, well you've been gone for a little bit of time now, haven't you?
I have. My weekends have been fully booked. I'm sorry, dude.
It's fine. But yeah, due to numbers.
Like, I've wanted to be here, but...
Yeah, but we're past the hostage situation now. Yeah, but things can still go on. We'll find something to be able to do. Hell, there's a couple different things that can even just happen, even if it's just talking about the stuff that's going on. Because, yeah, to be honest, one of them going last second, one of them I don't know exactly what's going on with. You know, it's just a little bit of you're uncanny. Yeah, they're not the best. But yeah, we'll figure something out, even if it's just like catching them up and then going over some of the things here. Drop down every time you tell everybody. Yeah, just, you know.
Oh, my phone's dying. Oh no! It's not that silly.
But yeah, we'll figure something out of how to do this. Nothing I mean.
So you know how I made a 5th backup character?
Yeah?
It's probably the most insane one I've made yet.
Sylvana and Rain aren't here.
Wait,
yeah.
how do I how do I shade the wait, what do you call it again? Wait. Parasites. How do I shade the parasite? It's just like pitch black. Like, oh, oops.
Yeah, pretty much.
No highlights, or do I need to highlights?
Up to you. You can add
I'm
them
adding
if
highlights.
you can add them if you feel like it. You can like leave them alone if you want. But yeah, it's just one of them like Ori essentially being kidnapped last second slightly throws a wrench into the works, which is slightly annoying. You know, most of the other people that were in the server that wanted to like do it just didn't want to do it, sort of a thing for whatever reason, or they were busy and all that stuff. So now I've got low numbers, and those numbers are slightly fucking clunky and shit, and they're out of order and all over the place. So, you know, whoop-de-doo. It's not really favorable at all, but that's just the pain of having these low numbers and stuff. Which is also quite annoying, but, you know, what can you really do? People have their reasons for going. There's nothing I can really do about it. So I'm just not gonna complain. Because what's good does that do? But yeah, we'll be able to figure out some things to be able to do, even if it's just catching you up on this stuff and then just talking about the D&D. Because, yeah, unless Power joins in, or if he's able to get here quickly, there's not really a whole lot that can be done.
Understandable.
Then again, this session isn't going to be able to be that long because I've also got to go back to my mom's house at about 6. So, in total we've got about, like, 2.5 hours, I would say. Which, although it's quite a bit of time to just be talking about the D&D, I might as well do what I have done before and be able to give sort of, like, insight and stuff like that. Because, yeah, there's all sorts and everything going on. The need to have a sort of, like, direction and directive for this also needs to somewhat happen, because, yeah, it seems like it's slightly gone into, like, a sort of thing of, like, not that the main story's been, like, subsided, but things have gone slightly off the rails, just put it lightly, pretty much. Things have been going slightly out of whack, so it's just been kind of so so it's not anything bad. It's not at the fault of any of the players, but nobody's really been having an idea of what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, half of the time I'm just like, well, let's do this.
Now, then
See what
again,
happens.
I should just go over a few different things with this. Because, yeah, this should be pretty good to outline. So hell, if we have to, this can even just be a session of just outlining stuff. Or like, what is to essentially happen and change. Because, yeah. So to put it somewhat simply, when it comes to the players, there's nothing wrong with how things have been going. It's been fine. People have been doing what they've been doing, and it's been fine. However, people, now this could just be something like that I'm seeing, but it's not actually the case, because of whatever the fucking reason. But it seems like people have just become slightly, not complacent, but just compliant with things. Like, the second one person makes a choice, everybody else seems to just jump the gun and join in. They don't even question it. They don't even, like, slightly think about, like, other options or possibilities. Once somebody makes a choice, essentially, they just all immediately jump the gun. I understand not wanting to split up the party, but everybody just seems a bit too easygoing.
Makes sense.
So, I've been having slight ideas about how to potentially change that. Now, the way the characters are acting is fine. In fact, I'm quite happy with the fucking dynamic that there is. It does have a lot of stuff here, and change is pretty easy. Everybody has been working well together, and I can't really say that I'm annoyed at the group for any particular reason. But people have definitely started to become a bit too complacent with things. Well, not complacent, compliant. They just seem to be afraid to offer up different ideas. They just decide that this person has made an idea, they seem pretty confident in it, let's just go along with it. Which, now, it might just be me, but it's getting kind of fucking annoying. Because it just sounds like people are too afraid to make a choice. One person makes a choice, it's usually the same person as well. And then everybody else is just like, yeah, let's do this, let's do this. Like, they don't even offer up any sort of other option at all. They don't even, like, try and go along with it, they don't even really think much about it, they just decide, yeah, let's go ahead with it. The slight ideas of, like, the less people actually decide to think about what exactly they want to do, the less people make an initiative on an idea, the worse I'm tempted to make outcomes become. So, the way most things have essentially been going pretty easy. Nothing really bad has happened.
Yeah.
To essentially make it so that stops happening. If you decide to make an idea, depending on how, like, almost sheepishly people decide to follow along, depends just how much that is going to go horribly wrong. Now, if people immediately try and back out of it because people like them been like, somebody's noticed other people and they're just like following along sheepishly, it's too late. The choice is made. People decided to go along, they didn't decide to think, so they just went along. So, there's a few different options that there is. Either one of them is everybody would have to, like, get ready to type what they want to do, and then everybody presses enter at the same time. Either DMs it to me, about what they want to do, and then I put all of those into, like, a single message, and then just put that in, so you would know what yours is, but not what other people's were. Sort of a thing. Or, have to get a, like, reason for what people wanted to do. Like, if people decide to follow along, why are they following along? Give me a full-on reason as to why your character is just following along to whatever somebody else is deciding to do. And if it's just, so the group doesn't get split up, why does that matter? Your character isn't going to care that much about splitting off from the group a bit. Now, there is also some degree for me to be able to then also allow the group to be able to split up and be able to do that well. But at the same time, it should also be up to the people to be able to think for themselves and be able to actually decide what they want to do. Because people also seem to lock up a lot of the time with options. If you're the ones that do seem to jump to deciding to say an idea, normally are also the ones that wait a little bit to see if anybody else will think of an idea first. But only, like, say it whenever, nobody else has, like you, or for the most part, even like Power. Hell, even whenever Echo was here before, they were the same. Yous would take a bit of time before yous would make an idea. Yous would think about things before you made an idea. But then most of the other people, I don't know what the fuck you are doing. But then, like, most of the other people would just, like, go along with it. They wouldn't even, like, question it. They would just go along with it immediately. Which, it's not, like, fully complaining about it, because I can understand it. People don't want the group to be split up, because that just introduces new problems. But the thing that I don't really like is the fact that people have just been so willingly going along with it, that they've not even been thinking, what do they actually want to do? So it makes me question slightly if people actually know that they can make a choice or not. Hell, some people seem to just be very thrown off the second I have anything really going on. It's strange, really. Now, why that is, that's up to the individual to figure out, and, well, more so me to figure out and for them to know. But it's somewhat annoying just how quickly people are to just follow along. To not question a thing, to just decide that they want to just do it. Now, maybe that's just me just looking at it from just a weird standpoint or something. I don't know if other people are the same with it or not. But to me, it just seems like people are way too willing to just go along with things. then to think for themselves, and even just try and like defend our point. Like they start to see other people like going to another point, and they're just like, oh well, guess we're going then. Like they don't even try and like keep their standpoint, or try to make it so that their standpoint is a bit more clear, so then people would have a bit more to think about. So another thing I might start to do is just have people like try and like explain to me why they decided to do this action instead. What about the other action didn't seem right, and get everybody's opinions on it. And if they can't form an opinion on it, more problems occur. Sort of punishment system in a way. The more people just decide they will go with it, the worse it gets. I should also inform you about the Mimic itself. People have been forgetting about it a lot of the time in combat. In fact, most of the time I have to keep reminding people that the Mimic is even there to be used and put into a position, because it will not act on its own before anybody even decides to use it. So, as a slight warning, you may be fighting it in a short period of time to come.
Oh no.
Well, people have just become too complacent with it. It's just been there, and I've had to constantly keep saying, like, the Mimic is there, the Mimic is there. And like, do you want to do anything with the Mimic? And nobody's done anything with it. So, it's going to now become a hazard for people to deal with. And only the party, not the additional ones that everyone done, like Cyan, Red, and Stub. But it's just, the party's essentially become too complacent with it. They've just been leaving it alone. They've not actually been using it like I mentioned you could. Now, if it's because they don't want to be too controlling or not, I have outlined quite a lot of the time that, like, it is clear whenever it happens. As I realize I've not done that yet. But, like, whenever it comes to it, people forget that I've mentioned that I will make it clear, and they can ask at any time how the, like, Mimic is, but nobody's bothered to care. Now, I know they've all got their own characters to worry about, but they've just not really paid attention to the Mimic, if that makes sense.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
So, I'm gonna have people fight it. Fully. And if it causes a TPK, it causes a TPK.
Also, sorry if I sound like I'm not interested at all. I'm really focusing on destroying the Mimic.
You are listening and stuff like that, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm mostly just listening right now.
That all makes sense.
I also
Fully?
didn't sleep
Yes.
that much, so...
Yes, fully TPK. I am not afraid to go out of my way to make this Mimic fucking kill everybody.
Honestly, what I just did looks really cool. I'm gonna show you what I just did.
Now, the only real thing is it's going to be made slightly easier to fight, so it's a sort of fair fight. Like, I'm not going to have it use its entire strength, because otherwise people would literally die in a single hit. There would literally be no fight, it would just be fucking death. But I'm not afraid to kill the party. Because they have just had this Mimic for I don't even know how long, like, what, like... It was after, like, the 4th session, and we've had maybe, like, like, almost 18, 20 of these now?
I think? Maybe.
Like, it was, like, session 2 or 3, I think. You've had them for, like, over 10 sessions, at least. And unless I reminded people about them, people just entirely forget about them. It's as if I have to tell people, use the Mimic for people to actually even think about them in the first place. Despite the fact that they are here. Not bad. Fuck you. But like... Now, I'll use the beginning again, because that is probably like the best sort of standpoint I can, like the first early few sessions. Hello, Rain. since there's only really one person here, we've just decided to talk about the few things. You're very sleepy. Fair enough. I forgot to sleep early. Huh, I see. Now the session is slightly shorter than most others will be and stuff, so don't worry too much. But yeah, it's just... when it comes to the party, early on, everybody was there, everybody was giving in their own ideas and their own thoughts, everybody had a sort of action, sort of a thing, everybody did something. Everybody wanted to do something, everybody was doing something unique. But now, it's almost like people are afraid to. Because, well, we started this off, we had like 8 people here. And every single person said they wanted to do something different. Everybody here had an idea of what they wanted to do. Everybody was actually taking an initiative. Everybody was trying to step forward to do something. But at this point, I'm lucky if I even get an answer in fucking 5 minutes for what people want to do. It's as if people have forgotten how to actually take an action, and think somebody else will just do it for them. If that makes sense.
It does, it does.
And I also feel like I've been going a little bit too easy on people, so I am now deciding to flip the script essentially, and I will now start becoming incredibly fucking brutal and cruel if I have to. Because it's been going on for fucking ages now. I didn't really want to say anything because I wasn't entirely sure what the situations were, but it's just been going on and on and on. And at the point that it's at, either something changes, or everything else is gonna go fucking downhill real quick for the people. Because it seems like people have just forgotten that they have to be able to take the actions. I'm here as a storyteller, but all the book is it's just blank pages. The players have to be able to write the story, but they don't seem to be doing that. None of them seem to have a sense of initiative anymore. Hell, out of the entire party, probably the only one who really has much of a sense of initiative is probably you and Power. Power is happy.
I did not expect that, honestly.
Power is quite happy to go along with other options. But that is also just how they normally are. They are quite relaxed and laid back most of the time. So them going along with options does kind of make sense. At the same time, they also go along, but they also go along consciously. They've thought about it as well, and they've decided, yeah, they want to go along. They're not doing it sheepishly, they're doing it confidently. And you have been, like, taking the initiative the entire time. You are always ready to say what you want to do, and you say it pretty confidently and proudly. A few times you're slightly cautious and slightly wary of what you say, but that's because the caution and wariness come from the situation itself, not from your actions. What's happening? I know a hotel or something like that was where we were left off. So, because there's only one person here, we're essentially just talking about the stuff with D&D, because you can't really do a whole lot with one person. It's just going over, essentially, like, updating, like, sort of progress, but also going over quite a few points of, like, just where things have been going. Because I've done this before as well, whenever, like, it was in, like, near the end of the session, or just another time, just putting it into messages. But until really somebody else joins in, we can't really do an overly large amount, really. But inform and figure out. But it's also not the worst thing in the world either, because the person that is here has also not been here for like the past 2 or 3 sessions, I think.
Yeah, I think it's around that as well.
So to be able to go over all this stuff as well is slightly good, because it also does give me an ability to also let people also see and understand what's going on. Dream sequence, yeah, I guess. Stuff like that. But it's just, with everything that's been going on, from what the party once was, I'm not saying that I like the like, you know, old party more. It was quite loud and shit, and I still hated the fact that I had to tell people to shut up so Minx could speak. because some people just kept talking. But, you know, at the same time, I do miss it, because people had an initiative. People had a desire to act. But now, everybody seems to be afraid of it. So, I'm going to start flipping the script. I'm going to start changing things, and if people aren't able to take an action, they're going to get punished. Not the one that asked for the action to be done, but the ones that just blindly followed along. Let's say, like, the next session, you know, like, let's say everybody who's been able to make it here is able to make it here, sort of a thing. So, you, Para, Minx, V, Ori. That's a total of 5 people. Let's say you and Power both decide that you want to do something, and the other 3 just blindly follow. Those 3 will be given heavier repercussions than you or Power would. Simply because people decided to follow sheepishly. If people are unable to really, like, prove to me that they would want to do an action or want to do something, I'm going to make problems for people. I'm going to become a lot more cruel. To a certain extent, I might even be worse than the fucking, like, DMs that you had before, Will. In just how brutal I will be.
Oh no.
Going to become the Joker. In a way, I guess so. But it's just because people have lost the ability to think and take initiative. They've lost their ability to want to do something. So because of that, it's almost as if they've forgotten that they can make an option. They want to... Like, they just think that other people can do stuff for them. So, to a certain degree, I'm half tempted to make it so that if other people are unable, like, to make a choice, their character starts to slowly die. Hell, I might even make it so that in some situations that person has to act. Nobody else is allowed to do anything. That person himself has to decide their action, their option and stuff. And the longer they take, the more their character dies. And I will keep doing it until people either decide to gain the initiative or I start killing off people. I don't like the idea of doing it, but at the same time, I've gotten fed up of just watching people essentially sit back or not really be paying attention and then just deciding to go along with whatever the fuck the party decides.
Makes sense.
Because it has just been annoying. It's not really the fault of anybody, but at the same time, it is really fucking getting on my nerves. To a very, very large degree. And for the most part, I don't want this campaign to just end because people have decided, essentially, that they don't want to have to make a choice anymore. They want other people to make it for them. I don't want it to end because, you know, I've just started to kill off characters because it just seems like people have essentially stopped bothering. But if that's how this campaign ends, so fucking be it. That is all that's essentially been happening. It's just more and more and more. Just getting worse and worse and worse, essentially. So, I'm going to put in changes to it. I'm going to change what's able to happen. And I will become crueler and crueler with it. Because it's starting to just get to the point where it's not even a fucking joke anymore. I should not have to constantly tell people, like, what the fucking dice is for a skill check. I should not have to constantly tell people or try and get their attention over and over and over again. Hell, I'm gonna be honest. I'm half tempted to make it so that if somebody's not paying attention, there goes half their health. You know, if they're not paying attention, they immediately fail to, like, save or whatever. Because if they're not going to pay attention to the game, then I'm going to give them a reason to start paying attention. Because it's starting to become nothing but a joke. And a fucking laughing matter at this point. Like, we shouldn't have to tell people constantly or try and get their name, like, said again and again and again until they fucking pay attention. That's fair? But, like, I don't want to do it. I'm gonna be brutally honest when I say this. I don't want to have to fucking kill people off because they don't know how to pay attention. Hell, I'm probably the worst when it comes to attention. Especially when tired. Yeah, I've still made the effort to keep my focus on this. Even when I get bored. And sometimes I slightly dawdle off, but I'm still, like, essentially 60% conscious and aware of what is going on. Now, to a certain degree, I know that not everybody can have the best attention span, but I also feel like I should not have to say somebody's name like 20 times and have like 3 other people in the VC, they, like, you know, try and get in their attention. Or constantly having to have people tell people what the dice is. It's always a d20, unless told otherwise, so if I say make a check, it's a d20 immediately. Hell, even then, even if I was to make anybody roll another dice, I wouldn't even say make a check. It would just be roll, like, you know, just roll a d12, roll a d8, roll a d4, that sort of a thing. You know, it wouldn't even be, you know, like, make me a perception check. It would just be roll me this dice. Yet people keep asking, or, like, trying to double check, you know, is it this dice, is it that dice? Hell, I'm pretty sure I put it into the fucking rolls as well. Have I not? Yeah, fucking disadvantage, 2d20, take lower roll. Advantage, 2d20, take higher roll. Like, it's literally all in the rolls channel. For rolls. To be done. Yet people just seem to forget instantly, or keep trying to have to double check, is it a d20? It's always a fucking d20, that's how it is. Yet people somehow keep forgetting it, and it's just strange to me. I'm not sure if it's because they are just willingly deciding to forget, or they're just trying to be difficult on purpose, or what it is exactly. But I've never seen anybody, hell, not even my younger sister, whenever they were first playing it, needed to ask this fucking much, like, 18 sessions in. I would also ask her every time just to be certain. Yeah, that is a fair point. But there's been situations where people have asked, like, you know, what dice is it again? Like, I've not even said, like, you know, is it a d20? Like, you know, that sort of a thing. They've been like, you know, what dice is it again? And it's just like, you know, what the fuck do you mean, what dice is it? But that's why it's not so much of a big problem compared to everything else, is at the same time, wanting to just double check it, it's fine. But shorten my question, just... yeah, d20, d12, yeah. It sounds like that even just works. Because, you know, you're just double checking that you've got it right. But some people have, like, literally forgotten the fucking dice that you need to roll. Like, you know, what dice is it again? It's just like, you know, it's a d20, it's always been a d20, it'll always be a fucking d20. But at the same time, I also know that some people just want to double check, so it's why it's not my biggest concern. Slightly annoying to be going over every single fucking time that there's a check, but there could always be a lot worse, so when it comes down to it, it's fine. However, it is still just something. Not the biggest thing I have a problem with, but still something that I'm not overly very happy with. But that is just a me problem. That's just something I have to get used to. Now, let's see, what other things? I might as well inform you of what's been going on as well, Will, just before I do actually forget to do that. Just so you're not fully left in the dark past a session, and
Yeah,
it was just me rambling.
I haven't been here. I
But
wouldn't
yeah.
know what's going on.
Before we start to get on to some other things and stuff like that, like other sort of like plans for the future, I'll let you know what's been going on. So in the past few sessions, so you decided to keep going to the city after you'd met Red, Sub, and Cyan. That was the point that you left off. They were just in the party, but that's been about it. You've been gone since then.
Yeah.
Past that point, the people have come to the city, which is essentially just fucking neon lights everywhere. It is just a very bright city. Very bright, very vibrant, colorful, lit up. In the daytime it's fine, the lights are all turned off, but at nighttime it essentially becomes the fucking sun again. Sub is not very good with lights. They are more prone to bright lights. So whenever the people come in to the city, they had to get sunglasses for them. Or just something for them to be able to see better. They now have sunglasses. Them and Red can share said sunglasses. But that is fine. They've also added in, like, V's character. What the fuck is happening to the model? Never know. But yeah, they've also... So V's also joined the party. That's another thing that's happened. And from there, after V had joined the party, they were going to go around the place and see what else they could find here. But then V decided to scare Minx's character. Minx's character then, as a reaction, decided to cast Shatter. Now, Sub could no be harmed. He is the boy. He is fine. Divine Intervention said, "Fuck you, parry." Red was...
Harry the platypus. I'm sorry.
But... Harry the platypus! But Cyan got a 1. And their body essentially started to spasm. And convulse. And fucking freak the shit out. That didn't go well. So, Red had decided to start essentially dragging the now unconscious Cyan out of the danger, which was the party. This resulted in a bit of a problem, as it did technically mean that they could potentially have left, for good. However, Tara's character, the Jester, and Slugpup 1, they had gone off to talk to them. Now, Red was aggressive and violent towards them, so that didn't overly end well for them. So, what had essentially happened... Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me. They also pummeled Minx, like, after Cyan had convulsed, they pummeled Minx's character into the ground, leaving him almost dead. I believe it was on 2 HP. And they had, Juice's Spear to completely pin, V's character to the ground. Before they were taking Cyan off. So, Power went off to try and negotiate, to try and get them to come back, to try and regain the trust that was broken. Now, the thing is, I'll just mention this, it should have been a lot harder, but I was slightly reluctant to have them just immediately leave, because having lower player numbers is fucking shit, and would mean I would then need to find another solution to increase player numbers again. Things that are not just a mimic, but still don't have my full active involvement in it. Because, within reason, yeah. Although there is some level of control, they are also not, in a way. Essentially, where they have come from is another person, who I was, who is also in the chat, known as Gucci. They are from their thing, which has helped out with being able to give it sort of a player's interaction sort of a thing, but also given the party more numbers. They know how they would act better than I would, and therefore they are able to slightly, essentially, like, use DMs to tell me how they would act, so that way they can be more accurate to how they would be, and not just other AI, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. Once Power had gone off to try and convince them, Red was not fucking having it, and had attacked Power's character. The Power used their 100 token to flip the consciousness of Red and Cyan, and also make Cyan recover from the injuries that Shatter had caused. to be able to start talking to them. That then led for them to come back shakily and warily. You make one wrong move, part of the party could literally be wiped out. I'm still fucking ready to do that shit. They are prone to get ready to attack and leave. Because their trust was essentially completely shattered by being almost fucking brutally killed. And attacked.
Understandably so.
For their sort of perspective, to make it a bit clear as well, they had been, like, stumbled across by the party. They went to go, essentially, be somewhat defensive, and you had immediately attacked. Now, I know I did say roll for initiative, but still, you had gone on to the offensive, pretty much. You had still attacked back, you weren't just playing defensively. So, they've essentially been attacked. They've been, like, wary of strangers. Let's see, what else is there? They were attacked in their own comfort. Privacy was essentially invaded as well. They'd followed along reluctantly before. They'd come to this village. You'd essentially given, like, Sub the ability to, like, look around the place without being absolutely fucking flashbanged by lights. Just everywhere, making it harder for them to be able to see. Because, well, it'd be very bright for them. And then you could essentially, just fucking thunderclap them. At most, the only real good things that the party has even been doing has been given, like, Sub the sunglasses, and not deciding to try and skin them alive again. Like, immediately. Now, you still attack them and stuff like that, but, like, for them, there's not really been any actual good reason to go along. So... oh yeah, there we go. So Scoochie just gave me this as well. So from Red Sign and Sub's perspective, the party had randomly attacked them. Sub swallowed a nuke. Which was that shiny little rock. It was a bomb.
Yes, the shiny rock.
They've spent about a day with them. And then somebody had sneezed, essentially, aka Minx casting Shatter, which caused Cyan to black out. Red attacked the person. That caused it. And then... yeah. So they attacked the person that caused it, so Minx's character. Then they attacked the person that was going to Cyan's unconscious body, taking it as a threat. And then... another person has attempted to cripple Red, which would have injured Cyan further, and hurt Sub into collateral. So, not very good.
I gave the Mimic crystals in the ears.
I see.
I don't know, it looks good.
But yeah, essentially all that's happened is they've been attacked, provoked, attacked, and provoked again. At most, giving the sunglasses to Sub and spending, like, roughly a day or so with them is the only positive thing. From their perspectives.
Yeah, no, we should actually, like, stop fucking scaring them. What the fuck?
What essentially needs to happen is before I decide to make it these motherfuckers are just going to absolutely rupture you to hell and back, is figure out how you're actually interacting with them, because they're not just NPCs. Same way the Mimic is not just an NPC, it is still a thing in this world. NPCs are people, and they will act as such. Yes, the party may have their shenanigans, but if they're not careful, they may very well be in a fucking shit show, and I will not hesitate to kill. I've been somewhat avoiding it for quite a while now. I've slightly shown off those, like, hound things, you know, I'm not gonna be, like, slow to be able to go off on a fucking murder spree. I will go out of my way to make things that will rip you to pieces for fun. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm tempted to bring those fuckers back. Because, you know, if I have to, I will just use scare tactics. I am not opposed to having to fucking bludgeon people to death to get people to start thinking. Now, at the same time, it is also somewhat good that you are being able to give, like, a full session of, like, just time. So if, like, you know, if you've got any questions, you're able to ask them. You know, you're able to actually get an update without actually any fear of things also happening, leaving you a bit more lost, and not just having a sort of quick recap. And then just being completely and utterly confused for the rest of the session. You know, this has been able to help out with being able to give you some more insight of what's been going on as well, while you've been gone.
Yeah, it has.
So, when it comes to it, it's just... essentially, sum up all the things so far. You had found Cyan, Red, and Sub. They've been attacked for no reason. You've been able to go around with them for a bit. You'd got to the city. You'd given sunglasses to Red and Sub. Then, V's character got added to the party. They had scared Minx. Minx casted Shatter, which provoked Red. Left Sub alone, because it's fucking God. They decided to say, no, fuck you, not happening. And Cyan had convulsed spasms and blacked out. Red pummeled the one that casted it, and then pinned the one down that they perceived as a threat. And then, from there, they tried to drag him off somewhere safer. Power had gone off to try and get them to come back. They had come back reluctantly. And from that point, it is now essentially where it's been left off, where glow sticks and shit had been happening. To be honest, it was just slightly weirder session last time. It was just kind of happening, is the best way to put it. But, yeah. For the most part, they are back into the party, but they are reluctant and will go off and attack if provoked even slightly, and will leave if they have to. I believe Power also got another 100 token, which is kind of funny, but that is about where it stands. The Mimic has also started to become a bit too rowdy. I wanted to see people could even take actions. They did by playing Fetch, but that's not really enough. Now, for the most part, I don't intend on having this happen while Minx is here, as technically speaking, their character hasn't really caused many problems, nor Power. The main ones here that are somewhat at fault is you and Dory. Yous have been with the Mimic the longest.
True. We have...
But yous have not been using them at all. Unless I've been saying about them over and over and over, yous haven't been using them, despite the fact that you are able to use them willingly, and I will warn yous if it's starting to get too much. For complacency, that's for yous to be able to figure out. Or ask, but nobody has. They've just been, like, it's almost as if people have just accepted that the Mimic is always just here. As if it will always be on your side, but it won't.
Yeah, no, it won't.
So it's going to be attacking. It is going to be a fight. At the same time, when it comes to it and all that, people have just been almost complacent. They've not really actually been doing a whole lot. Now, at the same time, nobody really knows why the fuck they've come here. Hell, I don't even know why you have decided to come here. You just decided that you wanted to go to the closest city. I know. Oh yeah, I went through the side of someone's house or something in the city too, didn't it? Yeah, it went through an entire building. Because it had a little bit too much speed. So the Mimic just fucking, like, almost went through, like, an entire building. There's now 2 brand new holes in this building. That's that. Because, yeah. Funny. But, compared to most other sessions, like, nobody knows why the fuck you have come to the city. You just decided you wanted to come to the city, but nobody knows what the fuck you're doing here.
True. Yeah,
Unplanned demolition. But yeah, like, nobody knows what's going on, so... Like, nobody's really been able to do stuff. But I'm not here to tell you what you get to do. I'm here to provide you the options that are at face value. I'm not here to tell you what you can and cannot do, that you do not already know. And if you are not taking the initiative here, why not just leave and immediately just go somewhere else? It's the player's story to write. I'm just a narrator. The narrator. Fucking English. But like, that's essentially just how it's become now, is people have almost been waiting for somebody else to write what happens next, and not write it themselves. So, when it comes down to it, I'm gonna start fucking ripping things to shreds and tearing people open like fucking candy wrappers. Because I have started to get fed fucking up with this shit. Which has now been happening for a fucking while now. The reason why I've not said anything about this before is because, well, yeah. It's just not really something I thought I would really need to, but it's just been going on and on and on. And as far as I'm aware, it's only been getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So, I'm gonna put in the changes and I'm gonna be fucking brutal with them. I'm not even gonna be fucking holding back. Hell, I'm gonna be honest. At any moment, I'm ready to make you fucking fight something that is going to put you all into a fucking danger zone. He's maybe like level 4 and stuff like that, but you're still acting like you're level 1. You seem scared to make actions. You're the most confident out of the group now that there is left. Echo, as far as I'm aware, is just dipped for whatever reason. Either because of their other campaign and stuff,
had another campaign.
Yeah, they were doing another campaign, so that could be it or whatever else. But there was like, at one point it just became almost radio silence, so they've essentially left. I mean, you've literally been the only actual one who's still competent, and from the first session. Now, no harm to Ori, but Ori just seems to be, like, essentially like the biggest... What would it be? What is the word? Oh, what the fuck is it? The one that's essentially been the most involved in like some of these problems, because they don't seem to really be paying much attention to stuff that's been going on. They keep getting caught off guard over and over and over and over and over again, making me question if they're even actually wanting to pay attention. Now, I know they might like enjoy it and stuff like that, but they just don't seem to be paying that much attention to it. They always seem to be going off on something else. Their attention always seems to just wander off. And they say it's because, like, I think it's like because they're like an idiot, but being an idiot has nothing to do with their inability to focus. Being an idiot would be an intellectual thing, not a focus thing. Unlike something like ADHD or autism. Unaware? Yeah, I guess that could be one of the words. I want to see if I can maybe Google this word. Okay. No idea what the word is. I guess something like maybe like accomplice or like associate. You must associate with it or whatever. Whatever it be. But it seems like Ori's like one of the ones that just seems to be the most unaware or like in touch with D&D and stuff. They also seem to be the most afraid of like actually just deciding to do anything, which makes me wonder, you know, why have they decided to do the thing where you need to make actions and choices? Aloof? I guess aloof could also work, yeah. It's like, it's just, I'm not sure if it's just me who's noticed it. I think a few others have as well, which is slightly annoying to them as well. But it's like, for as much as, like, I do like Ori being here, as well, more players always just bring something new to the table. They don't seem to be that active in it. They always seem to be sidetracked and stuff like that. Now, why that is, I don't know. But I would like to know. Because it's just really confusing to me. As far as I'm aware, like, their main excuse is just because they're an idiot. But an idiot has nothing to do with it. Because I ain't that smart. My younger sister isn't that smart. Older siblings, just in general. Siblings that have done D&D. They've been more in touch with it. Even whenever, like, I had boring sessions before, whenever I first ever played D&D, like, ages ago. Like, before fucking lockdown, like, before 2020 and stuff. Like, before any of that, like, even during the boring ones, I was still more in touch. Yes, some turns took a while, but I was still more in touch with it than, like, Ori seems to be. Now, I don't know exactly what the situation is at home or anything like that, but it's really weird to me, and I don't know why. But just, something just isn't right, if that makes sense.
That makes sense, makes sense.
Now, for the others, they're just slightly sporadic at times. Power is just kind of like here or they're not here. But to be honest, whenever Power is here, they do actually contribute quite a lot. So, I don't overly mind it, because, well, yeah. Whenever they do stuff well. But, like, for Minx, they've already mentioned to me, essentially, you know, they go, essentially like me, with Fridays. They alternate it with their dads, hence why there's like that 2 Saturdays in a row thing. Because that gets onto a better cycle for them. So it makes it a bit easier for them. Which does also mean that it actually gives them the ability to come here, sort of a thing. Now, we still not entirely sure of, they're still new to it. They only really appeared in the last session. So they're still a bit of a wild card. Yeah, Power's just a little bit of a anywhere and everywhere. Now, that's fine, because whenever Power is here, they contribute quite a lot. But they've also got all sorts and everything going on at home. Their situation's a bit of just everything. Which is entirely fair enough. But it also is quite nice to know that whenever they are here, they do contribute a lot like you would. You are quite initiative focused. You are quite quick to act. You are somebody who takes actions seriously, and you do think about the options. If I'm gonna be completely honest, though, when it comes to everything, we've got, well, how many people are even in here? There's 16 people in here. In total, we now have, what, like, 6 people in this? Which means there's just 10 people here. That aren't really doing a whole lot. Now, some of them wanted to try it out, other ones just had other reasons, all that stuff, that's fine. But, with the 6 people here, for the most part, I would say me, you, and Minx are the most consistent. Minx has...
I try to be here every time I can, yeah.
Yeah. Even whenever you can, you at least let me know beforehand as well. You say that you probably might not be able to come, but you'll try anyway. It's fine, you've given quite a bit of a heads up. Now, I'm not saying that, like, you know, everybody's able to always give heads up, because sometimes they do just have things taken out of nowhere. But, when it comes down to it, whenever you've not been able to make it, you made that quite clear. You mention it pretty quickly as well. Or at least you mention a bit before the actual session even begins if you think you'll be able to make it or not. It is fine, because you make it aware. You give information. Like what's happened now. Got told, like, essentially, like, last minute, Atori's been taken away. No idea where V was. But apparently they're just out somewhere with, like, mother or family or whatever. Parrot's just a bit of a wild card, but they're mostly okay. They've got all sorts and everything going on in their life. Minx has also already told me that sort of situation. So, to be honest, this all happening like this is slightly annoying, if I'm being honest. If I had known there was literally just going to be me and you, no harm to, like, you coming here, which, you know, it does help you be able to be informed, but, like, you know, if it was just going to be a thing of, like, there's only one person going to be here, the session would have probably just been called off and just, you know, it would just be the next one, next week sort of a thing. Because we can't really do anything with just the two of us here. For as much as I would like to be able to do something, can't really. But when it comes down to it, I'm just thinking how to really get, like, even just something else. Because the, like, sort of imbalance and the sporadicness of it makes it really hard to figure out anything. Now, it's not the fault of anybody. Not saying anybody is to blame, because, well, people's life situation is all different. Mine is included in this. But when it comes down to it, the sporadic nature of it does make it quite a lot harder to be able to really plan these sessions. And lower numbers also makes it a lot harder to figure it out. Now, in the last group that I had, whenever I, like, joined in, like, the session, like, halfway through it and stuff like that, because it was just a Tiamat one, everybody apart from one person who just is sort of become a bit of a fucking, like, joke at just how bad they were with it. So it got to the point where we just started to do them without a person there. But, like, even then, all those people there would always try and make it, and if they couldn't make it, they would let somebody know. There was always, like, essentially, well, I think, like, 4, 5 of us there? 3 people in person, me, my older brother, and my dad, who was the DM for this. And then I believe it was 2 or 3 of my older brother's friends who would do this D&D. But they were always there. Now, there was also another one, but they were just fucking ridiculous with time. For some reason, before they just sort of just disappear fully, essentially. But when it comes to this, like, group, I'm gonna be honest, to figure out if anybody could even be free for any of these sessions, I wonder if people are just fucking flipping coins at this point. Now, you've mentioned, you know, the fact that you were essentially, like, fully booked and stuff like that, but you would try and make it if you could, sort of a thing. Like, you've just been quite busy. You know, you've not been wanting to miss out these sessions, but you've just been so busy with IRL things that you didn't really, you know, have much of a choice. But that's fine, that's IRL stuff. And you also made it clear. But, like, the other exception is Minx, because they've told me their sort of situation as well. So it makes sense for them. But when it comes to everybody else, it's just like, it's confusing. It could just be me, but I don't really know what the actual sort of, like, situation is with any of the other people when it comes to, like, the weekends and stuff like that. But I would expect there to be slightly more, like, coordination, or just slightly more going on with things with time. Because for as much as people tell me, like, you know, the times are okay and all that stuff, Clearly they're fucking not. Because otherwise people would be able to get to the sessions pretty consistently. But they've not. So clearly something else is going on there that makes it harder or something. Now what that is, I don't know. But at the same time, it's slightly annoying. As for as much as people have said that, like, you know, yeah, the times are okay, if that's the case, then why aren't people here most of the time? Now, I get they all have, like, their own lives to live, and sometimes you just can't make it for whatever reason. You know, can't always be guaranteed. But at the same time, if they couldn't make it, I would at least hope that they could at least say that they couldn't make it, and not just leave it in the dark. Which I can't really do a whole lot about. Now, if I was able to, like, if I could figure out other people that also have joined in, I probably would go out to them, see if they wanted to join into these as well. Because it would just bring in something else. It would just add in a couple more numbers. Consistent numbers. But I don't know anybody that would join in as a player. Who would also not mind the fact that it's a sort of carefree thing. Now, for what it's worth, I'm happy to even have a group in the first place. I'm happy to be able to do D&D. But it just seems like this group has essentially been doing nothing but slowly crumble away. You know, at once was essentially everybody wanting to do D&D again, and now people just not. Like, some people just lost the sort of, like, want to do it sort of a thing. Like, you know, whenever you get, like, a sort of, like, streak of, like, a week or so for just a certain game that you just go through entirely and then it's, like, gone again?
Yeah.
You know, it seems like some people had that. Some people just wanted to try out D&D. Other people have other reasons for just stopping.
I just love D&D.
Yeah. Like, from what it once was, you know, people being very enthusiastic, very initiative, very open, like, for, like, options, like, you know, focused on it and all that. It seems like people have essentially just been here, like, you know, yep, hello, here we go again, woo. You know, compared to, like, the first few sessions, it's almost like people have just been kind of just here, to be here. Now, I guess some people don't always have the most energy. Some people can also be tired. But from the beginning, it just seems like people just stop. Like, they, like, don't really want to say that they don't want to do it anymore. So they're just here, just to be here, if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
And that just pretty much only brings in new problems. Because then all of a sudden it becomes harder for me to be able to do stuff because people don't know what they want to do. I'm being honest, I've been half tempted to tear open people the second they've not been able to make a decision for long enough. Just completely wiping it out and stuff like that. Because it is just ridiculous at this point. I understand that not everybody can be easy to have an initiative. Or to have motivation to do stuff. Hell, I can't have motivation because that's just how my brain works. The thing meant to give people for motivation just doesn't work. It takes a whole lot for me to get motivated to do anything, but I still come here and I'm still happy to keep doing stuff. But one person can only think about so many options compared to a group of people. Like, I can only throw so much at the players until they have to make a call. So, eventually, sooner or later, I'm just half tempted to do it so that if people aren't able to make a decision, or want to make a decision or anything like that, that I just go out of my way to make initiative happen, and I will start to kill people, and I will start to fight them at every opportunity. If they cannot think for themselves, if they cannot think about an action they wish to take, then their characters won't be alive to make any actions anymore. You'd be lucky to have them do anything. Because when it comes down to it, it seems like unless I force an action to happen, like unless I force people to have a choice to do something, they don't. Which just really confuses me. Because if people have been enjoying the D&D, why aren't they able to think about what they want to do next? In the D&D that they apparently really enjoy. So is there any sort of questions you might have, Will? Yeah, Pyra's also just mentioned that they've just
really
been incredibly tired. They collapse asleep and, like, they're just incredibly fatigued, which is fair enough.
Not really much you can do about that, no.
Yeah. Yeah, like I mentioned before, Pyra is sort of like the exception for, like, this sort of thing. Because, not so much like the exception, but they are more lenient with it. Because whenever they are here, they do a fuck ton more than anything else. They are very active whenever they are here. They're always ready to react, or always ready to do stuff. They're not afraid to, like, lock up and stuff like that. Like, they are always, like, running around, essentially. They are always ready to do a check, they're always ready to do something. Anything, really. And I believe they also live in, I think it's America, or it might be Canada, so they're about, like, 5 hours behind anyway. But they've also just been, when it comes to things, they do, as far as I'm aware, they do quite a bit, because they're quite busy most of the time. So, there's no harm in the Pyra, because when Pyra's here, they make up for the time that they can't be here. They're quick to pick up on what's going on here, as well, so it's not that bad. It actually pays out, because they're not taking as long as anybody else is trying to figure out what the fuck they're doing. Now, for as much as I would like there to be other things going on, like people being a bit more initiative and stuff like that, I am quite happy with the ability to do D&D again. It is quite fun to see how people act in it. But sometimes I just wish that people would be able to act a little bit more than they do. Because let's see, so the point essentially where I'm wanting to try and almost have this campaign end is roughly, I'd say, maybe like probably like maybe just depends, anywhere between like level maybe like 8 to level 14, I would say. Like pretty decent levels, a pretty decent length campaign. Now, if people keep deciding to go off and do all sorts and everything, hell, people can become level 20 before we decide to even go to the final area. But as it is, there's not really a whole lot going on. It's also why, like, people have, like, only just recently became level 4. It's because so little has essentially been happening that I didn't even really know if people would be able to level up yet, because technically speaking, you have essentially done jack shit. Now, it's not really the fault of anybody, but for the most part, Sundays being a sort of split thing and becoming shorter, that did throw a wrench into it. It made it a lot harder.
Wait, when did we become level 4?
A little bit ago, I believe. Whenever you found Red and Sub, I believe that's when you became level 4.
Huh.
Have you not done your level up stuff yet?
Not sure I did that, no. I'm gonna look if I did that.
Yeah, you might as well.
That is pretty important. Yeah, I did.
But yeah, it's just... You see, the thing is, it's like, I wouldn't be opposed to, like, trying to go in as a player, but being a player in DM just does not work. It doesn't work, because I would technically know the things, and I would have to essentially remain silent anyway, and let other people do stuff. It would literally just be having another mimic. But, like, less tanky, more squishy sort of a thing. Which, if I wanted to do that, why would I really need to, whenever there's already that in here? Like... It's just... yeah. So I can't really beat a player and the DM. But it's not really like somebody else can really DM at this point, because they don't really know where things are going and stuff, so... When it comes down to it, player numbers being this small, with people who don't really seem to know what they want to do, makes it a lot fucking harder to DM than you'd think. Because it is like trying to read a book, but it just stops halfway through. And then just continues at like the last page, and it's like, you know, what the fuck? So I've been slightly wondering how exactly to handle this whole, because I don't really know. The only real solution I can really think of is to just start pummeling people into the ground. Now, I don't want to do that, because that just essentially gives more of a reason to just stop doing anything anymore, because they just know that they'll be pummeled into the ground, essentially. Which is the opposite of what I want. But at this point, I don't know if there's any other choice. Because, yeah. Now, obviously, if this was an in-person thing, it would be a lot easier. Obviously, in like a perfect world, everybody would be able to make it here every single session, it would go fine. But at the point it stands on, I'm gonna be honest, 2 to 3 people is probably the best we could really get in a session. Especially for the next fucking while, so unless somehow we're able to, like, get other people in. Like, whenever you taught in, like, Tabby in here, now obviously they left because, you know, they just had everything going on and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I have an update on Tabby. She most likely won't be coming back, because she's been very, very stressed. I'm not gonna specify reasons, but... That's
fine. There's no
yeah,
need
she
to.
won't be coming back, I think.
Don't pry for information. If you do not wish to disclose, you do not have to disclose. That is fair enough. And it keeps, you know, the sort of trust there. Fine, all you've told me is they've been stressed, nothing more, nothing less. But that is fair enough. Now, I'll still keep their character here, because who the fuck knows, maybe, like, you know, in a year this is still fucking going on. Then...
if it still is, it's not needed. Don't need to tell you this, like, right now. But if it still is going on in a year, I'll be showing up way less, because I'll be... it's basically a boarding school, but Danish version of it. So yeah, I won't be able to be on as much.
Well, I'm not thinking it would be, but like, you know, it's just a sort of like long time span, like, you know, year, 2 years, whatever the fuck. Like, you know, within reason, I still have all the characters of every single person who's been here. In the off chance that they decided they want to hop back in. Now, they'll be left in the fucking dark as shit, because they'll be gone for so fucking long. But if any of those people decided they want to hop back in to the D&D, I've got their characters still. I'm not going to be getting rid of any of them, just in the off chance that they would want to come back. But, you know, even like, when you had brought in Tabby, they were quite active here. They weren't overly active, but at the same time, they were also playing a bit more of a passive role. They were here to do actions, they did decide on some things and stuff like that, but it was mostly up to all the people here to decide. The other thing I have also noticed is the more people that are here, the more willing everybody is to make a choice. Hello.
What?
I thought you were, like, unable to come here today.
Hello, I've shown up finally. I've got back from visiting Grandma.
And it's like half
Well,
4.
welcome back.
Like an hour I'd have to go somewhere, so we can't really do a whole lot anyway. So we've just been mostly talking about,
sorry.
like... You're fine, it's fine. We've just been mostly talking about, like, the session. We've caught Will up to speed and stuff like that, and I've just been going over all sorts and everything about this. As well as different thoughts and just ideas and all that stuff. Because, yeah, for the last hour and 26 minutes, quite close with, like, the last hour and, like, 20 or so, because Will took a little bit longer to get here, but that was fine. We have just been talking about the D&D. About what essentially has been happening with the D&D, all the things is, like, it's just, yeah. Just a whole lot and everything. Like, a few things, like the time. People have said the time is fine, but clearly it's not really fine if there's still problems going on. Like, getting here. The thing of, like, people deciding on what to do. People don't really seem to know what to do, and they seem to just follow along whenever somebody else makes a call. Like, you know, oh, let's go over here. Everybody else just follows along. Even if somebody else has a different idea, they just immediately end up deciding that, you know, their choice just doesn't matter anymore. Let's just go along with this person. It's easier.
Mm-hmm.
That, I'm deciding that I want to try and... It's easier to just follow along than to try and defend your standpoint. And that's something that I want to change. The more it seems that people are just compliant and just going along with whatever anybody else would want, the more likely I am to immediately cause massive problems for the entire party. Because whenever it, like, so I'll use this example again. Whenever people were first doing it, you know the way we had like 8 people or so in here?
There were a lot more opinions. There was a
lot more opinions, a lot more people were willing to defend their standpoint, a lot more people were willing to explain their standpoint, a lot more people were willing to make a call. And when people had decided to go along with it, it's because people had talked about it. They had discussed this thing with it before they all made a final decision. But now it's just somebody decides to make a call and everybody's just like, yep, let's go there, let's do that. It's like they forget the fact that they have a right to say what they want to do. Like, their opinion doesn't matter if somebody else seems more confident. So it's something I've been wanting to change, because, yeah. People should be able to make their choice and not just follow along like sheep, because then it's just like playing with, like, one shepherd and everybody else as the sheep, than it is playing with a bunch of shepherds. I can only write so much of a story on my own. I can only really give you the options that you give me the ability to give you. But it's still up to all the players to decide on an option they wish to do. Like, I'll take the last session for example. V's character decided to scare minxes. There was nothing saying that, you know, they couldn't do it, or that there was anything against them doing it, but they still decided that they wanted to do it, and they would go through with it. So, that's what happened. Is they got to do it. They made a choice. And that's the thing that I'm wanting to essentially try and do more often, is have people make their choice. Because how am I really meant to do anything whenever people don't know what they want to do?
Mm-hmm.
It's why I've been constantly trying to get people to make a choice. And I seem to get more and more annoyed the longer it takes for people to make said choice. Because it's, to put it bluntly, it's become a fucking joke how inept people have become compared to the first session. Like, it's beyond a fucking joke. And I ain't fucking laughing.
Because the more naturally leading people have, like, vanished. And most are
Not really.
preferring to stay back.
Will is probably the most confident here, the one who is willing to make a choice, but
Yeah.
they don't make one immediately because they want to see if anybody else will have an idea first.
That's a few words I never thought I'd hear.
Tara is the other one. Now, they aren't here all the time, but when they are here, they are very active in the session. They are willing to make their call, and they are willing to do something. They aren't afraid to take an action. They will think about everything. They will ask questions to figure out what they can and cannot do. But when it comes to the party now, like whenever Power or Will wasn't here, people have essentially had to be told that they can do stuff. Which isn't what this is. People can do stuff at all points. It's just, you have to tell me what you want to do. Because I don't know what you want to do. I don't know what you're after. Hell, you just come to the city, none of you even had any fucking reason to do so, other than you could, and you did. I don't know why you're here. And I don't even think any of the players know why they're here. You just decided to come here for some reason. And none of you seem to know
We couldn't go
why.
to the airport, so now we're here.
But like, you've gone to this location. You've gone willingly to here. It was just sightseeing, wasn't it? I don't even fucking know. I don't think the people know. At this point, it might as well just be fucking sightseeing.
I do remember wanting to, like, see if there was, like, things about, like, necromancy and stuff.
Yeah, you wanted to find a library. That was fine. You
However,
wanted,
the other thing
like, you
took more
made
priority.
a choice. Yeah, you could still go off and find a library. It's just there was a few other things that were a bit more of a high demand. But I never said that you couldn't go and get, like, you couldn't go off and find a library.
Yeah, but still, the higher demand things need to be addressed first.
Yeah, the higher demand things were things that were actually quite important, like, you know, being able to get red and stuff to be fine and stuff like that. Or so do the other things. Oh, so that's why they wanted to find a library so much. Yes. Everywhere they've fucking gone, they've been trying to find out stuff about necromancy. Now, quite a few of the areas they've somewhat failed on, but that's because not all the world is about it. But finding a library to find stuff, that's not wrong. But at the same time, you've made a choice already.
Mm-hmm.
You've said that you want to find stuff about it. You want to find a library. You made that call on your own judgment.
It was just that my character was a bit too stupid to find it.
Yeah. But at the same time, you still made a choice. And you didn't need my input or somebody else's input to make that choice. You made it on your own volition. You made it because you wanted to make it. And that is what D&D is. You are your character. Your character is not a separation of you, they are you. To see your character as somebody else is to already dehumanize yourself.
It's mostly me, basically... The way that I basically see it, it's more of the character being a mask, and me making sure that the mask doesn't melt onto my face.
You're being more of a puppeteer. You're controlling a
Yeah, I
puppet.
basically see it more like that.
But by controlling it like a puppet, you've not been giving it your free will. You've been giving it the
It's
will
mostly
you
that I want to
believe
avoid
it
putting too much
deserves.
of my own personality into the character, because
Your
I
personality
basically
should
format
be the
story
character.
setup, but I know that I wouldn't react certain ways that the character would.
You should put your personality as the character. You should become your character. I don't think the characters are the people. That'd be like saying the actors are their characters. It's an act. Well, to a certain extent, the actors are their characters. They are them, like, they are their own people, but when they are, you know, another character, they are that character. It is all an act, but they still act like the character. Like, you're not Red, Sub, and Cyan. To a degree, you are. You are what influenced their moves. It's like how Will, or what this shows is Isaac, they are their
For example,
character.
how Paula just goes absolutely batshit random.
They are their
legit
character.
based Isaac half on me.
You just need to become your characters.
Yeah, I am.
To an extent. Gucci's sort of like thingy of like, you know, actors being like their characters sort of a thing, like, you know, actors are acting and stuff like that. That's what you just need to do. Don't see them as separations of yourself. Think of this as like one giant movie. Play your character in this movie. Play your character in this book. Your character is you. They are your character. Outside of D&D, you are you. You are your person. You are the individual that you are. But in D&D, in this like game, you are your character. You become your character. Your character is your embodiment in this world. The character is you, and you are the character of two different things. Yeah, fair point. Like, you see what I'm trying to say here?
Somewhat.
You've been seeing your character as nothing more than a thing in a book. A
More
thing
like
with
a-
predetermined
the way that I've seen it is
options.
basically the way I saw it was basically the best way I could describe it as a mask, like similar to actors and stuff.
You've been seeing it as a
And
puppet.
the thing was, I mostly was trying the way that I usually try to is like keeping reality and fantasy separate to ensure that it wouldn't affect my mind and that it wouldn't bleed into my truth.
Everything that you do always affects your mind. Playing this campaign already changes your mind. Deciding not to play this will change your mind. Every action you take, every sight you see, every option you are given changes the way you think in one way or another. Everything changes, and that always changes you. To dehumanize yourself from your character is essentially stripping away the free will and giving it a will that you believe it should be given. You're making it into a robot, not a person. And that limits your options.
True.
Now, to want to act like your character, you know, doing what your character would do, that is fair enough. That's what actors do. They play their character. They play the part. But you need to be able to play that part. Not pretend to play that part. Maybe observe Red resting on top of... Think about me do this. Yeah, hold on, is it over here? I think so. Hold on, let me check. Yeah, there we go. That's the resting.
Oh!
I forgot, I'll just bring these over, because I believe...
I was like, hold on a second, where the fuck did I put the external data bank?
These were made by others.
I
believe it was-
You know,
I believe it was Rain and stuff who had done this. Like, with the fucking glow sticks and all.
I knew literally kicked the water bottle, and it's the unit water bottle, so I actually felt a moment of fear.
What I will do is I will move the fucking glow sticks away for now. Fuck it, I'll just loot a couple of them. Fuck it. The Holy Scripture can stay though, that's just really fucking funny. Okay, so we'll do this, and then I'll just increase the sizes of everything. That is rotating the fucking board! Don't mind the lasagna. The Holy Scripture.
What?
The Holy Scripture.
Lasagna.
Yeah, so I'll move the players over here. Because these are just images. Yeah, I'll keep the stuff that has been, like, drawn.
Anyways, what the fuck was happening before I showed up?
Like I mentioned before, just talking, really.
So we hadn't really started because there aren't many people.
We just didn't decide to do anything, because, yeah, there was just nobody here.
Yeah, it's understandable, because after all, not much has happened. Because there weren't many players.
Yeah, essentially, I'm just putting all the things that have been drawn, essentially.
Yeah, like showing off everything that has every single piece of art, because
Why
why
are there
not?
two of these?
Me showing off that 9-year-old.
Two of the
drawing
same!
that I got.
Two of the same. There's
Aren't
two of the
many,
same image
that's a
again.
bit of an understatement.
We have two separate.
Oh, you're right.
Look to the left. There's two of the same.
No. But yeah. This
Meanwhile,
is...
mine is the only non-drawn.
No, Paris is
And just from
also...
the game.
Paris is also thingy, and so is the lasagna. The lasagna's a picture.
Yeah. But it still feels odd. And there's also the glow stick.
Yeah, out of everything, these have all been drawn by somebody.
Yeah.
All these. Now, I believe, so Scoochie's just been the messenger of the images of, like, Red and Sub, as well as Cyan. They've been the messenger of the pictures. I believe there should also be more somewhere. Well, let me check. But it has been, I know Rain's been wanting to draw, like, one's drawing it. Was there another one as well, Scoochie? I think I remember you mentioning there was another one. Do you have any other pictures in here I need to pull out? I think I do, yes. Yeah, that one. That is over Rain.
Well, sometimes planning is a bit unlucky, so yeah.
Yeah, so Rain's Roll, Freedom. I'm pretty sure, wasn't there another one you also
mostly-
mentioned about?
It was mostly just a chatting one.
That's right. Yeah, Lavi. Yeah. The default Red and Sub. These two.
Small beans.
Those two came from Lavi, but Cyan, Sub with the sunglasses, the Red and Sub on the back. No, hold on, I'm gonna just clone this
Oh,
one
that's adorable!
to show the back of this one as well.
These are so cute!
Yeah, they have been done by Rain. Now, I have been sent them by Scoochie.
Aw.
Gravity Droll is their full username. Yeah. So Lavi Droll. I might be saying that wrong, I'm not sure. But they've been the one for the, like, default Red and Sub. But these other ones, including the glow stick, have all been done by Rain. Now, Minx's character was done by Minx. Oh, what the fuck? Minx's character was done by Minx. And, well, the Mimic was done by Will. So that's enough. Yay! Let me just make the back of the Where's the Sub and Red holding glasses? Yeah, I'm about to get that one, don't worry. I just wanted the changes to be slightly darker. Yeah, good enough. So yeah, I remember I needed to get that one in, but I forgot to actually get it in. Yeah, if you give me just a moment. We will be getting the, I believe, the most recent drawing of this. We'll put the scale up to like 5. There we go. Oh, I see, I can have a small thingy, but it's a bigger thing. That's fucking incredible. It's also really fucking funny. Make it a little smaller. So that's kind of funny. I might do that for the other ones. I might like re-add them all in, but like put up their scale. Okay, there we go. We saved them now. But yeah, these are all the things that I've been drawing for this. That is also still here. Now, the Mimic has gone through a fuck ton of changes from when it was like first drawn to now.
It has. I can confirm. I can confirm.
Hello, Sylvana. Welcome in. You joined in at 4:45, so we still got about like, well, like an hour left. You told me earlier that you do D&D streams. Yes, that is correct.
A different thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because I feel like we won't be having a campaign at the moment.
Yeah, just because like nobody was really here, so yeah,
Wish you
for the
a
most
good
part,
day.
the stuff is going on. I meant to check it out, but I got distracted. No worries, Ori. Take care. You got distracted. Fair enough. But yeah, there's been quite a few D&D things. And I think I can still catch up it. Yeah, so what's been happening right now is it's just mostly been like talking and stuff like that about the D&D. Because well, with one person you can't really do a whole lot. The chances are is like the next session will probably have stuff going on. But yeah, we're essentially just going over all like little drawings and stuff like that because yeah, it's just mostly been talking about it. But yes, there has been what, like, I don't even know how fucking many of these now. Well, we started this like some point in November. I think it was like 2-3 sessions there, and there was 1, 2, I believe another 3. That'd be 6. So we gave it a little bit in that time. That would have been like 3 there, and that would have been, these would have been like 4. That would be a total of what, like about 16 to 18 sessions now of D&D.
That's a lot of D&D.
It is, especially whenever these are like multiple hours. We've definitely at least gotten like over, I'd say with like all the sessions put together, at least a day's worth of just D&D, and you have essentially not gone fucking anywhere. Well, music player and stream credits. Apps have been a journey. So many niche problems. Oh. I'm gonna get it right. Yeah, but yeah. When it comes to the D&D, we've been going for like quite a few sessions. I'm gonna be honest, I slightly miss how many numbers we had before.
Same.
So, for the most part, if you're able to think of anybody else that you can get in, feel free to just run them by me like you did with Tavi.
I will.
Cause
I have also been talking to some of my friends, being like, yo, I got this D&D group.
yeah,
So,
it's just,
yeah.
don't be afraid to run them by. Hell, if you even need to, whenever like one of the sessions is going on, set them the fucking thing so they can see what it's like going on in here.
Oh yeah, I've been doing that.
Yes, it never appeared. But, like, within reason, I'm not opposed to any other people joining in for this stuff, because I do like having a few more people. Now, not a whole lot more numbers, but I'd at the very least be able to consistently at least have, like, 3 people. Maybe, like, 3 people at the worst, consistently, and, like, 5 people just on average. I'd play considering. I would consider joining if I did. I mean, I'd be playing 3 characters as once. Or 4. Well, within reason, Squishy, things can be slightly altered. You can essentially relieve most control over to me. So unless something absolutely needs to change, you know, for the most part, the behavior is somewhat set. You know, red is silent and protective, sub is very friendly, and kind of easily distracted, but they don't like bright lights. Cyan is the sort of caretaker of them sort of a thing. They're pretty beefy and stuff like that, and they care for both red and sub. They're playing well, sub DMing is a bit much. In a way, yeah. I wonder why your arms move. Yes. If our fucking arms would like to work. Yeah, they're really fucking weird. But yeah. We keep putting his arms up like he's trying to answer her question. Yeah, it's kind of funky because it's having to use the camera for it, but as soon as my head is like this is like the top of my head. And this is my neck. So like, because this is like about like my chest and stuff. Yeah, the hands are fucking wonky. But yeah, when it comes to the D&D, I'm always like, I'm happy for more people to join in. Because I want to be able to actually get to do stuff here. If I'm also being honest, for the most part as well, you technically are, like, you technically already joined in Squishy because you are taking care of both Red, Sub, and Cyan. You are technically already 3 characters, so you are, in a way, playing with other people. Now, not fully, but you are still playing and interacting with the players. You are a player, in a way. You're like 50-50 between DM and player. Because you are still technically controlling their actions. But you are informing me as a DM of what their actions actually would be, so... But technically speaking, you have joined in. And having somebody be able to cover even like 3 characters, within reason, those 3 being considered as like one person, is pretty helpful for terms of numbers and just a little bit more variety. But I'm not opposed to other people joining in. Yes, it might mean that this D&D thing could have like, you know, a fucking 1,000 people in it. Hence why I'm also half tempted, like, the ones that did want to, like, do it before, but just, yeah. Like, not to be mean or anything like that, but just move them and stuff. But at the same time, I don't really want to do that in case, you know, other people decide to have sessions. Like, what happens if people in, like, I don't know, like, let's say your area, or where, like, Snow lives and stuff, they decide to do D&D, and have their own session. He's gotten distracted once again, it seems. I see. Yeah. I do like the D&D. I really like doing this. I really like being a DM. But I feel like just the lack of people has immediately just bummed down the energy a bit.
I have a friend that I think might want to join, honestly.
And if you think that's the case, you can always just need her to interact with me for a bit. Yep.
Yeah.
They can ask questions about the D&D, see what things are going on and all that stuff, and then if they wish to join in, I don't see why they can't. Because just more people would be good. It just not to be a bit of like a prick or anything like that, but just the inconsistency is a fucking pain in my ass. And it's really fucking annoying. But it's fine. At least people are here. Also, welcome back again, Sylvan. But yeah, I would like to be able to do stuff. Temptation to time you out and pretend like you were still distracted is very high. Fair enough. But yeah. It's just, I do like this D&D, and it would suck for it to end, if I'm being honest. It would. But with a lack of players, we can't really do a whole lot, like we figured out with this session. You know. But yeah, it's just, I know people said that they did enjoy this. You know, they were quite happy with like how I was handling it all as a DM. But at the same time, D&D is still a 2-3 thing. That would be cool. I think I've mentioned this to Sylvana before. The Pokemon Mystery Dungeon themed D&D. I've heard of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, I have no fucking clue what it is. All I think I can remember from what I've like heard or like seen little parts of it is that you're a Pokemon and it's a Pokemon game without trainers. It is just Pokemon. I've actually played half a campaign of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon D&D. I've seen D&D based on Pokemon before. Interesting. More D&D is always nice. Yeah, that's basically just it. But yeah. I'd rather have this session end because everybody had like agreed that it was just not the best in the world. Than it just being because people just slowly started to dwindle away for no reason. Or like no mentioned reason. Oh, I've seen Enter the Gungeon. I have not, but I have heard of it as well, and I've seen like little parts of it. I like the fact that this has just become like basic talking together and stuff like that, and not like D&D. Like it's a mixture of talking about D&D, but now it's just a mixture of everything. But yeah. To put it mostly bluntly, I don't know how long, like, the people that we have for the sessions, I don't know how much longer it can go on the way it is. I'm not sure if that's just me being paranoid or what, but I just, yeah. It's the way it is, I just don't really see it being able to keep going much longer if it keeps going up the way it is. Because eventually, it's just going to enter a stagnant state, and it's just going to be a complete and utter, like, just numbness cycle over and over. You know, people enter in, they do essentially the square root of fuck all and jack shit, we end, and then we do it again the next week. Now, who knows, maybe with V being here, it might introduce a little bit of a spark in people to, you know, start doing shit again. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it's gonna make much of a difference, because, yeah, the numbers are just too low. Especially with the inconsistency that there is, and the lack of initiative in some people. So... yeah, that sucks. You're right, it does suck. I kinda hate it. But I can't really do a whole lot about it, because I don't really know anybody that would actually be interested in D&D. Okay, so take that Horror roguelike we played. Turn it top down. Instead of rooms, it's floors. It's grid-based. Time only moves when you move, but with Pokemon. Let's take tutorial roguelike. Yeah. From the top down, yeah, I know what those sort of games are like. It's everyone's 6 floors. Yeah, like an actual dungeon would be. Grid based, and time only moves whenever you move. That makes sense. There's also a hub in which a small villager for Pellet Generator. This allows you to turn push pots into very sharp weapons and try to give me their cicada shells. What an interesting way to come into a fucking thing.
I just wanted to ask something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Am I allowed to make my character go insane?
Yeah? We'd have to go over how that would work, but I don't see why not. That's the only reason I'm hesitant to get into D&D stuff at the minute. Because if my roommate would get... I don't know if your roommate would get weirded out by your roleplay. To be honest, what's the harm in asking them? Like, you know, if you were to mention that you're doing D&D and you're playing a character, would they still get weirded out? Or are you just afraid that they'll just walk in mid-session and they'll just be like, you know, what the fuck is going on? Exactly. I see! I guess you could ask them. Yeah, there's no harm in just figuring out beforehand. To be honest, to a certain degree, I would ask my dad, but I don't think they would. He's going to die. Someone's going to die. For a moment, I thought you were on about, like the roommate just fucking die. Yeah. What exactly made you decide that you wanted to have your character go insane, Will? There's a major.
So, you know how I talked about, a new backup character?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm gonna make the character I play before it see it. Slowly making them go insane.
I'll be
Because
honest,
they see
if you wanna,
something the rest of the team doesn't see.
I'm gonna be honest. If you wanna have your character, like your character get killed for your for another character that you want to become because you're fed up of being
I'm planning on doing that.
but it's because you're fed up of being the one that you are. You can fucking do that shit. Go ahead.
Dude, the literal way that I'm planning on introducing my fifth backup character. I don't even know if I'm gonna use it as the fifth character. I might just use it
Well,
right
from the
after
way it
that.
sounds, they're gonna become a fucking main character real quick.
But, like, the way I planned on introducing it, of course, I was gonna run it by you, because, like,
Yeah.
you're the fucking DM.
Mm-hmm.
But the way I was planning on doing it is slowly making my character seem insane, because he's seeing something that doesn't exist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, in some way, I don't know how exactly I'm gonna do that, but make the others, like, distance themselves from my character. And make my character, like, just fucking die. 'Cause not by,
Is it
like,
like-
a monster or something.
If it's
Just,
by sort of like,
die.
how exactly are you planning to make them insane? Like, in what way? Just like mentally fucking just broken sort of a thing? Or like sort of like eldritch horror sort of insane? Because I'm pretty sure like the eldritch horror and like insanity, it's just sort of saying, oh, you see something and you can understand it, but it breaks your sense of reality. Like, let's say you became an ant. Yeah, like, let's say there's an ant and you put it on a keyboard. Now, an ant typically doesn't know what a keyboard is used for, but imagine for a moment that ant knew what that keyboard did. It figured out that it was able to put inputs into like a computer, and that would be able to do stuff. The very thing it walked on was something that could act as a higher power than it could ever fathom. But then it had to return to the life of an ant, knowing the knowledge it now had. But there was a greater power, and it understood that for a moment. Never being able to get that again. That is insanity.
That is insanity. I'd say a mix of both. Cause, the thing I based my new character on is, I haven't gotten tested, but I have a suspicion I have schizophrenia.
Oh, I probably do with the fucking lack of sleep I've been seeing. And the fucking shadow things that just like to talk to me every now and again.
Real! Like, why are you here? Anyway,
Huh?
so yeah, I based it off one of the things I see.
I think Rain's a little bit confused about the fact that I've been seeing shadows every now and again whenever I've got no sleep. I've seen at least 4 today. Hell, I'm gonna be honest, one of them's in the fucking corner just watching this all go down. They've been in here for the past. They have been in here for the past 3 hours, just watching. They're content, just watching. But yeah, is it wearing pants? It doesn't wear clothes. There's shadow.
They're fully black.
They're like shadow things.
Exactly. You're like the first person I meet that actually knows what I mean.
Oh, goody. Well, yeah, I've seen them before. I see them a lot. Hell, I'm gonna be honest. The only real one that's really scared me has actually been the ones that looked more human in shape.
Oh yeah, this one is fully human shape.
Because the main reason why the human shaped one scares me is because they look so fucking accurate to a human that I think it's somebody's shadow. I look at it, and then all of a sudden nobody's there, and I'm just like, hold on a fucking moment. That's not a shadow, is it? That's one of the boys!
That's one of the boys. Honestly, that's so real. Can I send you a picture of my little guy?
Yeah, go ahead. Fuck it, why not?
My little guy. This guy has been bullying
Where do you live again? Asking for friends. I'm sorry, but unless you're somehow able to, like, see my, like, visual illusions and stuff like that, I don't think you'll be able to bang the shadows. I don't think that will work.
What? Wait, what? Wait, what just happened?
Guichi had said in a series of questions, is it wearing pants? When I told her no, it said, oh goody. So where do you live again? Asking for a friend. Damn, I'm literally being called fucking now.
Oh
I don't think you can bang visual illusions. Like, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and just say that I don't think that's possible. fucking try you. Send me proof then! Send me proof that you're able to bang the shadow demons.
Oh, okay, this is sideways. You know what? It doesn't matter. Sideways or not, I'm sending it to you.
I don't know, look. I can change its orientation as much as I need to make it upright, or I'll just tilt my head.
Yeah, so that.
If I
that
close
are
my
two of the
heart,
things
if I close
see.
my eyes and don't use my hands, I'll be free. What does that
Oh
mean?
my. What do you?
Oh. It's a bro! It's a homie!
I
Look at that
wouldn't-
flag!
I wouldn't say that.
You know damn well what I mean. No, I actually don't. Are you trying to say that you would like to become a potato? You would like to become a tree? Like, I'm very confused here. But they look like a bro. Huh. I see. Fair enough.
So yeah, so that's the little guys I see.
Oh.
They're with me every day. I can't do anything about it.
Mine just appear whenever I get no sleep, and they become more concerned the less sleep I get. It's like they don't like the fact that I can see them. And they're like, that's not fucking right. It's a bit much for Twitch chat, so... Oh. So I shall not share the exact context here.
Wait, okay, I'm gonna read what what was said, and I'm gonna try and figure out what's happening. I'm gonna do it.
If I close my eyes and don't use my hands, I'll be real.
Wait, what?
That is what it was. Now knowing what it is, reading it still doesn't make any fucking
no.
sense. So yeah, it is. So the only thing that I will inform is it is definitely NSFW. So
Yeah, I dude, what the fuck?
this is how they are.
But yeah, so I'm planning on making my guy go insane and kill them
No shit, it's NSFW.
and then make that thing come out of their corpse.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, like a fucking chest
Yay.
burst or something. No shit, it's NSFW. I'm talking about trying to bang a shadow creature. Sorry. I'm not even trying to fucking... Look man, I'm desperate. Fair enough.
Honestly, just don't sleep for a few days.
My right hand is my best friend.
This went from, okay, we might be doing D&D to, I want to bang a shadow creature.
This went from talking about D&D to either banging or being banged by a shadow. Which, I'm gonna be honest, it's D&D, you could probably do that anyway.
True.
It's your emotional support bingo machine helping at all. These two things are not mutually exclusive. Well, the bingo machine and like the right hand man, or like eight.
Wait, Spore, have you named the things you see?
No, D&D and getting real. Yeah, I guess so. Man, just thinking about this, putting this on YouTube, that could definitely raise a lot of fucking questions. Now, I might very well just have the fucking thing gone. That might not go well. Actually, I'm now curious. What if it, like, an account gets terminated? Hello, YouTube. I am that guy.
Spore, have you named your little guys? Have you named your creatures?
Saying that I've seen at least 40 of them, and I suck with names, no, I haven't. They've just been, like, hanging out. They've just accepted the fact, like, you know, I'll just talk about them, and they'll just all just be like, you know, okay. Like, they just sit and watch, pretty much. At the time where I made Twitch chat take the BDS down. BDS. Yeah, I remember that. That was definitely a very interesting video to watch. I'm gonna be honest, I'm slightly upset that I did not catch that stream because I think I'd be laughing my ass off. Because I laughed my ass off during the fucking video. It was very much taken to the extreme. But, yeah. This is going to be very interesting to put on the YouTube.
Ah, yes.
Because there is the tie thing is to go to the higher number. Now I'm confused. I have now immediately become confused, and it is only now like 5:15. How in like the last 15 or so minutes have I now become more confused in the entire fucking 2 hours we've been here?
No idea.
It's taking a very
Wait,
interesting turn.
Do they talk to you, or is that just me?
Their times for 3 and 7 per tide. 7 per down. Only back. The shadow creature, that's all. Yeah, they've talked to me. I've had some full-blown conversations with them before. Not during the day,
Same.
during the night. Normally during the night, most of the time. Sometimes during the day, but mostly during the night. Sometimes they just listen. Most of the time, they are very worried about the fact that I get very little sleep and that I am essentially incredibly unhealthy. I still believe that I am underweight, and that is not a good thing. Are they nice? Are they polite? Yes. They are.
I wish mine were.
Now, they scare the living shit out of me occasionally, by pure accident, but that's because I have a lack of spatial awareness. But they are nice, they just hang out, really. And I think, when was the first time I had actually seen one of them? And I remember, like, a lot of the time, just randomly, I would just see a shadow thing anyway, just out of the corner of my eye. Just get up and on the street. Just watching happily. But yeah, when was the first time I had seen one? Like, seen one of the ones that are, like, in the corner now? I think it might have been over... What was it? It wasn't during lockdown. It might have been, like, maybe... like 3 or 4 years ago, like 2021, maybe 2022 time or so, that I started to see these sort of shadows appear, and not just like the sort of like slight visual illusion ones. You know, the ones that like you see, you look in like the corner, but it's just like not actually there, and you know it's like an illusion sort of thing. Like these ones have just been around. I went into potentially hammerhead infested waters back when I was around 9 or something. Fun fact of the day, I guess. You almost got drowned when you were... Well then! Didn't know it was for hammerheads, and when I returned to shore, I was told so. Somebody was gonna move her. So whenever you were 7 or 8, you almost got drowned, and Scooby went into shark-infested, hammerhead shark-infested water. Because you didn't know it was, like, where they would be. Ain't that something? Ain't that crazy? Power almost had a harpoon go through his head. You were very tired and far from the shore. Jesus Christ. Things got dark very quick. The station device being gate kept by some family members. Jesus fuck. They kept getting me away from it. Your family seem kinda like dicks, if I'm being honest. Like, that's a bit of a dick move to do to an 8 or 9-year-old. I almost died jumping into water from 5 meters up because I didn't check the water depth before jumping. Jesus fuck!
And I have things I shouldn't share here.
But why are you saying, like, no? You're one of the most drowned here! Why are people, like, nearly dying by water all of a sudden?
Oh wait, I can actually share one.
Are people okay?
I almost died by not drinking water. I got dehydrated at the age of 5 and fainted.
You were almost kidnapped when you were 5 because I followed people who I thought were my parents, but weren't. I was fell out boat in a white water rafting. Holy fucking Christ! It definitely fucking took a fucking turn. Looks for rafts fast water. You know, life vest on, thank the fucking gods. I'm glad people are okay, but like, Jesus Christ. This is just come out of fucking nowhere to me, just all of a sudden. Holy shit, but like, at least people are still alive. At least people are still here. That's good. But Jesus. You almost... Jesus. The worst sort of fucking thing I had was in fucking like nurseries, like before like actual like first sort of like young school sort of a thing. Like, the worst I've ever had is, like, my left hand got hit by, like, one of those blue net baskets that have, like, the holes in them for plastic. One of those got thrown at me. I was in hospital for a fucking while and I had my hand essentially broken. So my right, like, I just can't write anymore. But here I am, seeing that people have almost died on multiple fucking occasions. You can go
My
pull
brother
back
got
into
hit
the
with
boat.
the car when he was 5.
I'm surprised he didn't scrape really badly. That's... good. What? The worst sort of thing I've ever had, and the sort of traumatic accident or whatever, not really sure how to really describe it, would be in nursery, or very young school, like before actual school sort of a thing. One of those like blue, like plastic boxes that had like little holes in them. Daycare? I guess daycare would also be another word for it. Whatever. Just like, you know, child in area being supervised by somebody else, but not a babysitter. Like, milk crate, I guess? I wonder if I can find a, like, picture quickly. So give me like a second, so see if I can find this shit. Would a milk crate be? Yeah, pretty much. That is actually what they are. I didn't even know that's what they were called. Yeah, it was a milk crate. But the only real difference from all the images I can see is it had a square pattern on it instead of diamonds. Yeah, it was a milk crate with squares instead of like diamonds and stuff. Oh, hello, Loco. Yeah, that got thrown at me, when I was a child. And it, completely broke, like, my middle finger, I believe. Oh, which one is it? Yeah, here it is. Because it's still got, like, that fucking dent, and it's still, like, got the fucking gear shape in it. Not really, but it does. So, my left hand, like, it got hit, and it got broken. I could not use it at all. And I ended up in hospital for, I think it was like a couple of months, and then I couldn't even like do anything for a couple more months. I had a little gear in my hand though, which causes the like left hand, the like ring finger and the middle finger. The ring finger twitches left and right slightly, like it sways left and right, like a gear would be spinning around sort of a thing, moving it left and right. That sort of a thing. Like it will just do that. Either that or it just moves around, sort of a thing. Like, the ring finger will always just move around idly on the left hand, and I don't know why. But that's the worst I've ever had, and here I am hearing people have almost died, like, 4 times. Like, Jesus. Sometimes.
Ja, jeg hørte det godt.
Jesus Lord.
Hvad? Det kan jeg ikke lige, når jeg er i gang med
Oh,
D&D.
fucking Christ! These are just getting worse. How have people almost died so many times? I am now greatly concerned for everybody's health. Are people okay?
I guess it just kind of happens.
There's a red-bellied snake on our driveway once. Oh, fucking Christ. I am now greatly concerned for everybody's health. And I am also very glad that people are still here. Thank the Lord, people aren't dead. It is very nice to have everybody here. And this isn't just a saying that, like I would say, but I am genuinely very happy to have been able to meet all the people here, because it has been nothing but nice to know. I like to meet new people, and all the people that I've met online have always been fun people, for the most part, especially the ones that I still talk to. What's a brown snake? You see, I kind of want to be a dick here. It's a snake, but it's brown. That's what a brown snake would be. Brown king, I think they're called. Oh. But yeah, it's just... I didn't actually think people would have been nearly dying this much, especially the fucking water, like, holy shit. People definitely had a lot more of an interesting childhood than I did. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably the most boring motherfucker here. The most interesting
What do
thing
you mean?
The most interesting thing about me is the fact that I get no sleep, yet I try and, like, be fine. I remember me and my friends, you know, brother obliterated his leg with a glass door because he kicked it. But his leg is fine, and learned not to cry. Guys, I saw a sea snake. everybody else is just way more interesting to me. I don't really think I have that much interesting things going on in my fucking childhood. I would probably say the most interesting thing about me is I rolled around on anything I fucking could because I found it to be fucking hilarious. That includes concrete and asphalt. I keep accidentally walking into wall doors. Don't mistake my interesting things as a good childhood. I never said it was a good childhood, I just said it was an interesting one. Like, compared to me, definitely a lot fucking more interesting. Like, way more interesting. We'll go about, like, 15 minutes now? Yeah, 15 minutes ago. But, like, never said it was good, but, like, compared to everybody else here, I am the least interesting motherfucker. Like, I actually don't think there's anything going on that is interesting in my life in the slightest. I am not that interesting. I'm just a person. That's about it. I'm just a person. Nowadays my life is boring, I do fuck all. Yeah, but you've actually got something fucking interesting. My life has literally entirely just been the fucking end credits of a movie. I have literally done nothing interesting. Nothing I've done is interesting. What the fuck is happening? Damn, that's a long end credits. I fucking know! I could talk about other stories. I don't know how another. I literally have fucking nothing in my life is interesting. I don't know anything fucking interesting. My life has just been a fucking walking simulator. I am also getting very hungry. Fair enough. Like, out of everybody here who is something interesting, the most interesting thing I probably have is the fact that I'm slowly growing more and more schizophrenic. I got hit by a big wave like 3 times. I guess I drank part of the ocean. Like, I started to drink ocean water. Kind of. I drank shower water. It tastes nice. I guess that's really the only actual interesting things about me.
I think it's physics. My physics teacher accidentally burnt my hands.
Yeah, water from sneezes. Well, I guess there is, like, one interesting thing I did, but it's more strange and obscure than, like, interesting. How would I even describe how I sat? Would it be like a frog? I think it would be like a frog. Would that be the best way to describe it, though? Like, you know the way a frog is most of the time? Like, you know, just all 4 legs on the ground sort of a thing? Yeah, as a kid, I would do that when taking a shit or pissing. I would go to the toilet doing that. That is how I would usually just go to the toilet. I don't know why I did it, but I did. I don't even know why I did it either, I just did. Like, very fucking strange. I was a very strange child. Hell, to a certain fucking degree. Even now, I'm not sure if people have noticed it, despite the fact that it would definitely be very fucking noticeable, but I've been consistent. I was about to say consistently, I almost fucking said it. Constantly. Constantly and consistently been shifting around my most comfortable position is on my feet, even on a chair. Or in a bowl. Hell, I'm gonna be honest. The only actual thing that might even be remotely interesting about my life as it stands is I still essentially sleep in a sort of fetal position. Screen I'm making? Hell yeah. But yeah, I essentially hold on to something like a pillow or something like that, and I essentially sit in a fetal position to be able to sleep, or even try and sleep anyway. Me sitting across. Yeah, I do that a lot. That's another way I sit on chairs. Like, I cannot sit like a normal person. I cannot sleep like a normal person. Hell, I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know how people can sleep just in a straight line.
How do they do that?
Like, I've always slept in a sort of fetal position. I will always be in a ball. I will always sleep in a ball shape. That is just how it is. I physically cannot sleep in any other way. I am either full ball or half ball. I have a 3% chance of rotating 180 degrees across my legs, but I fucking hate it most of the time. I've always done my back in since infancy. My spine has an actual curve from how much I would just sit leaning forward and how much I would sit on my spine. That shrimp in a chair isn't just a, like, funny haha joke. It is literally my fucking posture. That is the closest representation to me without actually showing me. I tend to tilt to the side by like 20 degrees from where I was sleeping. It hurts standing up straight for too long. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I can stand up straight. I can do it against a wall because there is something there straightening me, but I just can't actually stand up straight. I will always be slightly curved. Like, literally give it like all of like 3 minutes of walking from standing straight, I'm immediately curved again. Shrimp. Yeah, you're right. I am a fucking shrimp. But yeah, it's just I have a variety of sleeping positions. But I can't say one as death is definitive. I either sleep in a full fetus or like a half fetus. Either full fetus, fully wrapping myself around something like a pillow, or I am like just my legs are curled up. I tend to sleep on my side. Wait, people sleep on their like backs and stomachs? My back is too hot. I physically only sleep on my side. That is just how I am. Sometimes I'll sleep on my stomach because it's more comfy. I'm mostly on my stomach or side. They're wrapped tightly in a blanket with one arm under my pillow and the other one clutching the blanket close. So it seems like a lot of people here just like hold on to things in some way. And we're also mostly all sleeping on our sides. This has been a very interesting thing, but yeah, I sleep in a fetal position. I sleep in a ball. I'm gonna be honest, whenever I was younger, I would make nests in my bed. I would literally just wrap my blankets and pillows around a certain point and I would just sleep in the fucking middle. I would sleep like a fucking cat. Oh, have I not turned off the fucking... have I not turned off the fucking things yet? No, I... You also cover your face with a blanket? Aw. Did I ever, like... I did, okay. However, I currently can't because I can't breathe well through 3 blanket layers. Jesus fuck. Fuck it. You do as much of those as you like, but like whenever it's getting almost to like quarter to, I will probably I'll disable them and then I'll redeem them. That's a lot easier to spam on mobile. Yeah, you're right. Because you remember whenever you were doing those things and just seeing like a bunch of fucking things spawning out of nowhere? A lot of that was just me spamming it. It's so easy to spam. Hell, it's even easier whenever you leave one thing. Hell, I did it so quickly that it told me I already put it in. Wither cannon? No, it's one of the other ones. I don't want to get into it too much because I even remember in the stream you'd mentioned that it was like it was slightly like an uneasy topic to talk about and stuff like that. It was the one with the immortal pups and stuff like that. Search rooms. How do I? I think I could just message you up. Or random creature. I think it was like the random creature one. It was like the one with like the thing being least. Hold on. I'll message you the sort of like specifics. What I can't remember. Just so that way to sort of like have your thing, because that stream had basically all the redeems. Might have been a random creatures one. See, how can I like describe this without it being? I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that one where I just kept putting in everything and all sorts. It's a lot easier on phone. Yep, that's the one. Do with the immortal pups and the heavy topic. The one where you had to like ask people to just not redeem while you grabbed the pups. People redeemed it too quickly. And I'll see you this time. Yeah. April's anniversary. I realized I kind of want to do a few more streams kind of like this, but this is actually kind of nice to just do. It's just to be able to talk about stuff. Just life in general. It's always nice to be able to do it. Especially since for, well, the most part, slightly not the best at really talking about it with others, because I don't really like worrying people in my life, really. I find it easier as well just to talk about it online. But it's always... Well then. I guess it's time to go get another ID. If you have an ID number that you want to put behind it, or then you want to redeem 1 per stream? Yes! That's correct. You know, let me just... I was just going to make a giant chunk of your ID list behind you over and over and over. Well, you wouldn't be able to, like, replace IDs with names already. They are left alone. Infectious plague. Yeah, I'm too lazy to go down the fucking list. This is just me being a lazy piece of shit. It's your pup? What was your pup's ID? Internship placement. I have Rain as an ID yet? I think I might. I'm not sure. Probably have to go off and find it again. Yes, I do. Oh, there it is. It's now 1:15. Because Rain was one of my IDs. Yeah, you got a point. And I did steal your IDs whenever you gave me the chance, if you know it. I will never say no to getting another ID to the document. For those who are unaware, I have like over probably like 230 Slugpup IDs now in a document. So like, that's a lot of IDs. But yeah, I will need to start getting ready to head out, as it is 17:46 and I need to get ready to go at 1800, or well, 6 p.m. my time. But although we did not really do any D&D today, I will do the same thing as normal. I will get a sort of time thingy, and then I'll let you know, Scoochie, so you can let the others know. Chances are, it's just with how the cycle is going, is it will be the sort of like 3 p.m. on a Saturday, my time. But yeah, I'll put that thing in for you, Scoochie, whenever I've got the time set. But other than that, that will probably have to be it for today, so I can actually go and get stuff done. Hope so. That means it could be a long session. Yeah. Now, hopefully as well, on like the next Sunday that we do, it also is able to get some stuff done, so you're able to actually start participating again, Will.
True, well, this has been very nice. Huh?
At least you've been caught up. At least you've been caught up to it.
Bon?
Yeah.
Det har han. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for everybody who's come here. But, yeah. Today's been a fun day. I will make sure to just set myself for a reminder. But yeah. Like, I might do stuff tomorrow, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, for D&D, it will most likely be again next weekend. Again. Most likely a longer session as well. And from there, it will definitely be an interesting one. What's it gonna be? So, like before, I believe Squishy would have messaged you the times whenever I'd messaged them the time, sort of a thing. So I'll just be doing that again, but it'll be the same time that it was like last weekend, sort of a thing, just on a Saturday. No worries. I'm happy for everybody who tuned in. But, yeah. With that out the way, with this all done, it's good to have you now caught up, Will, but hopefully we'll be able to actually do stuff with the next one that you're here.
I hope I can be on
You're not missing this for
next
today, you
Saturday.
think? Huh.
If I can't be on next Saturday, then I'm gonna be really sad.
Can I goodbye? Yes, I am needing to get ready to go to the other house. I missed before all the Minecraft bakery stuff. Yeah. Whenever I get a time, I'll let Scoochie know, and then Scooch will be able to let you know. And then Scooch 2 can also let Sylvana know. And then they can actually see how the D&D goes. Well, yes. Goodbye. I can wave.
Oh! New feature. Spore waving.
But yeah. Goodbye, good night, everybody, for today. Everybody have a good one.
Good night.
Thank you all for tuning in. Hasta la pasta.